History isn't a calm river. It's a storm of events, often violent, unpredictable, and utterly transformative. There are moments, singular, terrifying moments, when the world stood on the edge of catastrophe and changed forever. Today, we're diving into the most dangerous moments that reshaped the destiny of humanity. The fall of Rome, 476 AD. The Roman Empire was once the superpower of the ancient world, an empire of roads, laws, and order. But beneath the surface, it was cracking. Corruption spread like a disease, the economy collapsed, and civil wars drained its strength. Then came the barbarians. In 476 AD, Rome fell to the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. But this wasn't just the fall of a city, it was the collapse of a civilization. With Rome gone, Europe plunged into chaos. The Dark Ages began. Learning, progress, and unity were lost for centuries. The world changed because one empire couldn't hold itself together. The Black Death, 1347 to 1351. Imagine a world where people died faster than they could be buried. In the 14th century, a silent killer rode merchant ships from Asia to Europe. It was called the Black Death. It killed over 75 million people worldwide, wiping out 1/3 of Europe's population in just 4 years. Cities turned into ghost towns. Families disappeared overnight. No one understood the disease, and many believed it was divine punishment. But in the aftermath, Europe was reborn. Feudalism weakened. Laborers gained power. Science slowly began to challenge superstition. One of the deadliest plagues in history became the painful seed of rebirth. The fall of Constantinople, 1453. For over 1,000 years, Constantinople stood as the guardian of Christianity in the East. But on May 29, 1453, that changed forever. The Ottomans, under Sultan Mehmed II, breached the walls with gunpowder cannons, the first real use of artillery in siege warfare. The Byzantine Empire, once the jewel of the world, fell in a single morning. But this wasn't just a military victory, it was a civilizational shift. The fall pushed European scholars to flee west, carrying with them ancient Greek texts, planting the seeds of the Renaissance. A dangerous day indeed, one that helped awaken modern Europe. The Cuban Missile Crisis, 1962, October 1962. The world held its breath. The Soviet Union placed nuclear missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from shores. President John F. Kennedy demanded their removal. The Soviets refused. For 13 days, the world teetered on the edge of nuclear annihilation. One wrong move, one misunderstanding, and the Cold War could have turned into the final war. But through backchannel diplomacy, secret deals, and sheer willpower, both sides stepped back. A hotline was installed. Treaties were signed. But the scars remained, a reminder that civilization is always just one crisis away from destruction. World War II. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, 1945. On August 6 and 9, 1945, the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Over 200,000 lives were lost in moments. For the first time in human history, we unleashed a force that could destroy the planet. The bombs ended World War II, but they also began something darker, the nuclear age. Since then, thousands of warheads have been built, enough to end humanity many times over. We survived one war, only to enter a deadlier era of constant tension. The Chernobyl disaster, 1986, April 26, 1986. A routine safety test at Reactor 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant went horribly wrong. The explosion released radioactive material 400 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. The Soviet government tried to hide it, but the winds carried the truth to the world. Thousands were exposed. A city was evacuated overnight. The disaster shook global trust in nuclear energy and in Soviet leadership. It was a turning point in history. Some argue it was one of the final nails in the USSR's coffin. A single mistake, a worldwide consequence. September 11, 2001. In the early morning of September 11, 2001, the world changed again. 4 coordinated terrorist attacks in the United States killed nearly 3,000 people. The Twin Towers fell. America and the world was in shock. But the consequences weren't just emotional, they were geopolitical. The war on terror began. Afghanistan was invaded, then Iraq. Security measures reshaped daily life around the world. It was a moment of fear, followed by decades of war, surveillance, and political division. One day that changed everything. These were not ordinary days. They were turning points, moments that tested the strength, wisdom, and survival of humankind. Moments when everything could have ended, but instead history turned a new page. We often fear the chaos of the past, but without it, there would be no present. Fade out to black, with a final message. What dangerous moment are we living in today?